You are about to make a quantum leap in your life if these 9 spiritual signs we'll discuss in this video apply to you. The first sign is you clicking on this video, and the second will definitely be your commitment to watching it until the end to determine if you're on the right path in your spiritual journey and receiving the spiritual call through these 9 signs. But before we begin, don't forget to give this video a like, as it greatly helps more people like you find serious and valuable spiritual content. I also want to clarify that the quantum leap we're discussing isn't in the scientific sense but rather a leap into a new stage of your life. Now, let's get straight to the point. Spiritual sign number 1, a shift in your perception of time is a watershed moment in the spiritual journey. That constant feeling of always being busy starts to give way to the question, does this truly matter? This change doesn't happen overnight. One day, while chasing trivial goals, you find yourself reflecting on the transience of things. Prioritizing what's essential becomes a necessity, not just a choice. For instance, time spent on social media transforms into contemplative moments, such as watching the sunset or reading something uplifting. It's a natural, almost inevitable adjustment, and then arises the question, what truly makes sense to prioritize moving forward? Spiritual sign number 2, the search for deeper answers feels like an internal call that can no longer be ignored. Suddenly, traditional religion, which once seemed sufficient, now feels limited. What was previously accepted without question starts being scrutinized with a more critical eye. Questions like, where did I come from? Or what's the purpose of my existence? Begin echoing persistently in your mind. This restlessness leads many to explore new spiritual horizons. Books, lectures, and even documentaries become sources of discovery. For some, this process may result in a gradual distancing from traditional beliefs, not out of rebellion, but because they no longer find satisfying answers. This journey isn't always understood by others. Often, you might feel as though you're leaving something behind, but in reality, you're just aligning with a path truer to your inner self. It's a process that requires courage and acceptance, as letting go of old dogmas to seek something more authentic sparks a true inner revolution. But what happens when this thirst for answers starts reshaping your daily routine? Spiritual sign number 3. As the spiritual search intensifies, you realize that spirituality isn't something reserved for specific occasions. Attending a weekly mass or service no longer feels sufficient to satisfy the yearning for divine connection. You begin incorporating spiritual practices into your daily routine, such as meditation, reading sacred texts, or simply practicing gratitude at sunrise. Each action gains a greater purpose, transforming daily life into a living expression of spirituality. This transition doesn't happen abruptly but gradually through experimentation and adaptation. At first, it might be as simple as setting aside 5 minutes for mindful breathing before bed. Over time, these practices expand, creating a solid foundation for a more consistent spiritual life. Those already following a defined spiritual path may integrate new practices like using mantras, specific prayers, or rituals aligned with their beliefs. It's at this point that you grasp a crucial truth. Spirituality is a way of life. It's present in your choices, words, and even how you handle challenges. When these practices become part of your daily routine, something profound begins to change within. What could this inner transformation lead to next? Spiritual sign number 4. The search for self-knowledge intensifies, revealing shadow patterns that were previously camouflaged. Speech, thoughts, and actions begin to be scrutinized with greater rigor, and inconsistencies between what one says and does are questioned. This process is not easy. It involves accepting that we all carry shadows, those aspects of ourselves we prefer not to see. However, genuine self-knowledge demands facing these shadows head-on. The individual comes to understand that it's futile to erase or ignore these aspects. Instead, they must be transformed and integrated into their being in a healthy way. They realize that true spiritual evolution is not just about praying or meditating but about living in coherence with their own values. This alignment between thoughts, words, and actions establishes a foundation of authenticity that reflects not only in attitudes but also in the relationships they build with others. As they align with their deeper essence, they become more transparent and truthful with themselves. This fosters a more harmonious life but also tests how prepared they are to face the changes that lie ahead. Spiritual sign number 5. With progress in self-knowledge, the individual begins to notice a curious phenomenon. They become more sensitive to the energies around them. This heightened perception of vibrations from people and environments becomes a constant in their life. Previously, They might have ignored subtle energy shifts, like feeling drained after a conversation or uncomfortable in certain places. Now, they begin to notice these changes and recognize them as reflections of the energies they absorb. Energy sensitivity, however, does not develop overnight. It requires practice and a keen awareness of the body's and mind's subtle signals. For instance, being in a charged environment or with people of lower vibrations might result in fatigue, headaches, or even unexplainable emotional shifts. This indicates that external energies are interfering with their energy field. To protect themselves, they start adopting energy protection practices, such as meditation, visualization, or simply shifting focus to seek more harmonious environments. This sensitivity also makes them more selective about where and with whom they want to be. What once seemed insignificant, like a shallow conversation or a chaotic environment, now carries significant weight. They realize that the quality of surrounding energies directly impacts their inner peace, prompting them to seek places and people that elevate their vibration. What was once overlooked now becomes one of the main factors in choosing what they allow into their lives. Spiritual sign number 6. Over time, as the individual evolves, they notice that their behavior and attitudes diverge increasingly from the norm of those around them. What once seemed normal no longer makes sense, and they find themselves on a unique path of transformation. This change in perspective may be perceived by others as something unusual, almost as if they are a stranger within their social circles. This can manifest as discomfort during conversations, puzzled looks when they express their new values, or even a gradual distancing by those once close. This happens because the surrounding world, driven by superficial concerns, the relentless pursuit of status, and consumerism, fails to comprehend the depth of their internal transformations. By abandoning old pleasures and forms of leisure, they become different in the eyes of those still tied to social conventions. This distancing, though unsettling, is a clear sign that they are on the right path. It's not about being rejected but about stepping into a new stage of consciousness, where values and interests are no longer shared. The stranger is not the individual but those who have not yet allowed themselves to evolve their thinking and being. As such, the person who was once considered part of a group begins to walk alone, with the certainty that they are approaching a more authentic and elevated version of themselves. Spiritual sign number 7. As the individual progresses on their spiritual journey, they begin to feel a profound sense of pride in themselves, not in a selfish or vain way, but from a place of genuine self-knowledge and acceptance. They start to recognize how far they've come and how their choices and changes in behavior reflect their inner growth. This pride is not superficial. It is a deep satisfaction with who they've become. Additionally, the existential void that once haunted them vanishes as they discover a higher purpose in life. Before, there was a sense of lack, of not knowing what they truly wanted or where they were headed. Now, that void is replaced by clarity about what truly matters, connection with oneself, with others, and with spirituality. They realize that life's purpose is not about accumulating wealth or status but about living in alignment with their highest values and truth. The void is replaced by a sense of completeness, of belonging to the universe, and alignment with their life's purpose. This is one of the greatest signs of inner transformation, the moment they realize they already have everything they need by simply looking within. This inner fulfillment brings true peace and lasting satisfaction without needing external validation. Spiritual sign number 8. As the individual advances in their spiritual journey, they begin to reassess their priorities and realize that the true meaning of life no longer lies in the relentless pursuit of money or social status. While they may still desire a comfortable lifestyle, it is no longer the main goal of their existence. The pursuit of a more meaningful life takes precedence as they understand that happiness is not solely tied to material comfort, but to a higher purpose. This reorientation of life's purpose doesn't mean abandoning the search for security or stability. Instead, it's about finding balance, recognizing that it's possible to live comfortably while dedicating oneself to something greater, like personal development, spiritual growth, or contributing to collective well-being. They come to value experiences that enrich their soul more than material possessions that offer temporary comfort. They understand that the true purpose of life is to serve, to help others, and to live authentically and in alignment with their values. The more they seek spirituality and their true purpose, the more fulfilled and complete they feel. This reorientation not only brings personal satisfaction but also a sense of peace and meaning that was previously unattainable. So, are you experiencing this process? If so, which part resonates with you? What practices will you incorporate into your routine to achieve the spiritual evolution you seek? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion is very important to us. If you found this content valuable, share it with someone who also needs this transformation. How about inviting a friend to reflect on this journey with you? Remember to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to continue receiving content that will help you evolve spiritually and live with greater purpose. See you in the next video. Peace profound.